alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Hey folks, it's that time of day, at least for me, that we call the closest thing to rush hour in my part of the world. This town, very tiny. But hello from southern Minnesota, it's Tim Niederreiter, author of a bunch of books, the latest of which is Whale Country. And I'm just chatting while I walk around town. Yep. This is a live after reading, and for Wednesday. So it's pretty informal here, as you may no doubt guess, as the school buses roar by ahead of me. Okay. So, yeah, this is an informal cast, obviously. But I wanted to tell you, I'm not going to just leave you empty-handed for the day as far as content. Because even though I may have let down my Twitch stream for a long time here, I'm considering starting it back up again. Let me know if you think that's a good idea. You can email me at tim@timniederreiter.com if you want to give me some feedback. Probably should mention that more often. But anyway, let me know what you think. If you want me to do some live stuff, that's where I do it. But regardless, I've got an idea. I'm gonna do another story podcast soon. I'm gonna read you a little bit of a story from one of my short stories. Well, I'll read you the whole story. I'm not gonna shortchange you there. It's from my book, one of my collections, a little collection of 2 books. It's called Dark Work, and hopefully that'll be out the day after today, so Thursday instead of Wednesday. So you'll get a podcast tomorrow too. It's gonna be a bonus time. But anyway, so right now, this is just a heads up for that, because various reasons I couldn't put that out today. So, I'm at work with new books, more stuff, lots of things going on as always. I did finish. I may have mentioned this more on one of the most recent podcasts, but I just finished a big novel. Not big, but a novel that I've been working on for a long time, 7 years. 7 years of writing books. One book, really. I've been keeping it on the back burner for most of that time. It's only like 200 pages long. That's the funny thing. But hey, it's done now. At least the rough draft is. And because I typed the whole thing, that makes it pretty close to being the whole thing being done. So that's good news to me. And I'm sure you'll appreciate that as writers anyway, we have weird processes. Mine is to usually take a break in the middle of the story or at some point in the story, and then I come back to it. Well, I'm trying to kick that habit, honestly. I want to reform my habit, because stopping in the middle of a story is a big weakness when you're trying to write a lot of books. If I have to stop for a week in the middle of a book that takes me 2 weeks to write, oof, you just added half again the time. And I'm using that as an example because I can write pretty quick now. And my books are getting pretty short. But hey, they're all good. I mean, as long as you provide a beginning, middle, and end, your book can be basically any length and satisfy readers. Though sometimes when you set up big stakes, you need to do a big payoff and vice versa. So if you have a small story, you shouldn't drag it out too long most of the time. But none of these things are set in stone, of course. So that's my little bit of writing advice given for the day. Just kind of perspire that stuff, just kind of falls from me, because I've imbibed too much of it. And I guess that's kind of another subject I'd like to touch on here, because writing advice in and of itself is not bad, but it's not good either. There's very little in the world that's completely neutral, but I kind of think writing advice, any particular advice is either can be malicious, useless, or specialized. And specialized is about the only kind you're going to find good, I think. Actually, what I just said there is bullshit. I'm not going to take it out because I don't edit these very much, but when I say that, it sounds like I'm pontificating, and it really is. stupid to say stuff like that. It sounds good, but it's weak. It's pathetic to describe everything as one of three things and then expect that to make sense and mean something to somebody. I'm not trying to be down on myself. I just think that was a foolish way to put it. And I want to be open with you people, you listeners. After all, there's more and more of you lately. And I want to be transparent. I don't want to be one of those guys who sit on his high horse. Because relationships with people you know on the internet or you know of on the internet, parasocial relationships especially, can be painful. And I'm not interested in creating that kind of problem for anyone. They're useful, but as soon as they start being, I'm the master, you're my student, well, I don't want that. I don't want students. If I wanted students, I would have gone back to grad school and become a professor, What am I talking about? I think that's about it. So thanks for listening, people. You can find my books on Amazon.com or wherever fine POD books can be printed and bought online. Thanks for listening, and stay safe out there.
That tears it.